Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Dr. David Lombard, your Christian psychologist. Today, I want to talk a little bit about another anxiety control technique that we call mental imagery. There's some different terms for it, but we'll use the term today, mental imagery. This is one anxiety management tool in a toolkit of skills that I hope people will learn. I'm doing a series of videos on so that people can pick up these skills, because I believe the vast majority of people can learn to control their anxiety by learning a few skills. If you're interested in finding out more about the other skills, I'll put a link at the bottom here of the video that is to my 30-day program for helping to control anxiety. It's a free program that you can download and learn about several different skills, including this one, mental imagery, to help you start taking some control over your anxiety. So let's talk a little bit about mental imagery and what is it? Is it daydreaming? Well, to a certain extent, it's kind of like that, but it's much more guided daydreaming with a purpose, because my purpose is to help my body relax, help my mind focus on peaceful content. And sometimes when we daydream, unfortunately, we don't necessarily daydream about the happiest things. Sometimes we daydream about our fears and our worries. So what we're going to do with practicing mental imagery is we're going to take some control over the content of it and make sure that it's positive. So why do we do mental imagery as a way of controlling anxiety? Well, one, it does a couple of things. First, we can get our mind off of something that is distressing us that maybe we don't have any control over, because sometimes the things that we worry about, we can't control, we can't change. But I can change whether I'm focusing on it and paying attention to it right now. A lot of times we will be worrying about something that might be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 months away, and we can't really do anything about it. And it gets our anxiety going up, 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 up. So one of the things we can do with using mental imagery is we can get focused back on where I am and try to get my mind on something more peaceful and calm. The other reason we do mental imagery is my body will respond physiologically to what I'm thinking about. And so if I imagine a very stressful situation, my heart rate goes up. If I imagine a very calm, peaceful situation, my heart rate goes down. So if I want to control my anxiety, using imagery that's calming and peaceful to me, now everybody may be a little different. What's peaceful to me may be different than you. So again, it's a little bit individualized in that sense. Also, what we can do with mental imagery is sometimes we can use mental imagery to imagine us mastering a situation that's coming up. So once you get good at this skill and you can get yourself in a very calm place, then you can use this skill to imagine yourself in that future situation that you might be worried about. But what you're going to do is you're going to imagine yourself successfully handling that situation, mastering that situation. If you have ever met an elite athlete, that's a lot of what they do before each competition is they see themselves doing it really well. An actor or an actress will imagine and see themselves doing it really well. And that practice helps to calm them, prepare them for the situation, but it helps to overall control their anxiety. So let's talk a little bit about how do we practice guided imagery or use of our ability to create a detailed image. Now, what we want to do ideally is have a calm, quiet place, because obviously a lot of noise will be a distraction. So if you can get to a calm place, then the other thing that helps with our creating a mental image is we have to cut off a little bit of our surroundings in that sense. So we want a calm place, but if you're comfortable, then close your eyes, because closing off the visuals you have in front of you will help you to create the visuals you want to imagine. And then once you've closed your eyes and you're in a calm place, I recommend you take a couple deep breaths just to kind of help your body relax a little bit. Then the next step is I want you to imagine yourself in that calm, peaceful place. Maybe for you, it's a field that you used to play in as a child. Maybe it's the beach. Maybe it's a forest or a campsite that you used to go to. Maybe it's sitting out on your porch and looking out. Wherever your calm place is, I want you to start imagining yourself being in that calm place. In order to make it real, we have to start focusing on our senses. We're not just seeing the place. You want to kind of feel it. Imagine what the texture of the chair feels like, maybe the arm of the chair that you're touching. If you can hear birds off in the distance, Maybe you hear the water because the waves are coming in and crashing. Maybe it's a little windy, so you hear the rustling of the trees. Also focus on what you're smelling. What are the scents? If you're at the beach, maybe you're smelling the salt air, or maybe you're smelling the trees if you're in a forest, or maybe you're smelling, maybe your peaceful places at the farm, or maybe you're smelling all those farm smells that you enjoyed so much growing up. Then also imagine tasting something in this imaginary scene, whether it's a food, a drink, or whatever it is. Again, the more we can engage all of our senses in the imagery that we do, the more real it feels to us. And I want it to be more real because then my body responds to it as if it's more real. And if this peaceful place is real and all of my 5 senses are engaged, then my body really truly starts to relax because my mind believes I'm in this calm, peaceful, non-threatening place where I can relax. Now, I encourage people to stay for maybe 5 minutes when you're doing the imagery, and then to bring yourself back. I just say shift your attention a little bit more to your breathing, still keep your eyes closed, and then just kind of count backwards for 10 as you're focusing on your deep breathing, and then just kind of open your eyes. It's a great method for learning to practice your own imagery. I encourage you to use the same image, the same place, over and over again so it becomes even more real. There's a place that I have in my image where I start off in a grass clearing, I follow a stone path, it winds through some trees, and it goes to another clearing where I go to and I relax. Now this place I have practiced in my mind so many times. I know where bird nests are, I know where flipped over stones are, I see moss on certain trees. I can really see the image and all the smells, and so it makes it much easier when I get into that guided image. So I don't encourage you to have like 20 or 50 different places that you practice doing this. Pick one and just work at developing it and making it a deeper, deeper image. Now, what I recommend as far as practice, because again, the more we practice, the better we get at this, is pick about 3 to 4 times a day for 5 minutes to practice this someplace quiet. As with all anxiety management techniques, it's going to be a little cumbersome at first because you're practicing it. You might get distracted. Your mind may not want to stay on that peaceful place and it pops back to some worry. Just redirect yourself and get back to that peaceful place. The more you practice it, the easier it will get, the more real it will feel to you as well. Plus, as you're practicing it, it's relaxing you. So if you've been carrying any stress throughout the day, it's going to bring that stress level down. Also, the better you get at the skill because you've been practicing it, then in those really stressful times, you'll be able to use it and it'll be a skill that you will have already mastered. I encourage you to practice, write down some notes about how you're experiencing it. Everybody will learn this at their own pace, and some people will grab it really fast and master it quickly, and some just take a little more time, but that's fine, we've got time. As always, I encourage you to learn this tool and put it in a toolkit with other anxiety management tools, whether you read other books or download that free 30-day program that I've got on my website. Just try to add more tools because sometimes this tool is useful and then other times it's just not really appropriate because something else is going on with the anxiety. As always, I'm Dr. Lombard, your Christian psychologist, and I hope you have a wonderful week and God bless.